right, where individuals, including those from Caribbean nations like Jamaica, are held indefinitely while awaiting deportation hearing rather than being released on bond or supervision. Welcome to another Discover Jamaica podcast. And we're continuing our discussion with US immigration laws and the Jamaican and Caribbean diaspora in terms of, what are some of the things that we need to be knowing about? What are some of the things that are happening and some of the changes for 2026? Now we're going to jump straight into it and we're going to be talking about just applying for a US visa and some of the measures that the US Embassy is taking to vet the process in a more comprehensive manner. With me today is Vivian Grant. She is one of my resident co-hosts. Now, the US Embassy in Kingston has a country of residence rule that is now strictly enforced. GB, I did not know this before, but there was something called visa shopping, right? And since September 2025, you must apply in your country of residence or nationality for a US visa. Good. So, for example, I did not know this. Like, you can't fly to Barbados or any other island to get a faster appointment time unless you live there. So, what people used to do is this: the US visa application can take a long time. So people would island hop and they would apply for a visa in a different island, and this sometimes expedited the process, which I did not know that, GB.
No. Yes, I've known about it, but how many people really do that, are able to do that? But it's what, a 6 month window now? It's going to be a 6 month wait
At least.
to when you apply for a visa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because there's a backlog as well, and there's a constant backlog. So the process is a very long one, and it's getting longer and longer, right? I don't know if it's less than 6 months, but I mean, I keep having that 6 month figure in my head.
Just yeah, 6 months there, like you got to wait. That's the time between applying and hearing whether you accept it or not.
Right. So I mean, from September 6, 2025, which was last year, they had this rule change, and it explained that visa shopping, which is traveling to a third country for a faster appointment date, has been largely banned to manage the massive backlog expected before the 2026 World Cup. So keep in mind that this year will also celebrate World Cup, 2026 World Cup, which is from June 11th to July 19th, right? And it's going to be hosted by three countries: Canada, Mexico, and the United States.
I don't understand because now it's January now, so we say it's gonna be 6 months. You don't have any time. So should we feel that some of us who want to go, like, don't bother, because by the time your name comes up, the World Cup finish.
Or it could be, yeah. By the time my name come, yeah, the World Cup could be finished.
Does it make sense?
Well, people have their plans. People try travel and try expand themselves.
Your country is a part of it too, so people coming into for the World Cup. Is it that you don't want? I don't know.
No, well, what I presume is this: one, the United States is dealing with an influx of visitors, regardless of World Cup or not, right? They are trying to tighten this.
To reduce that, to cut it down.
To cut it down. They're trying to cut it down, right? it's going to be much harder because now with the World Cup being held, I mean, that number still is going to be ballooned, right? So yes, they're going to want less people coming to their country, but at the same time, given the whole World Cup thing, I mean, people are going to be there for an extended period, right? So they're going to have the work, carved out for them.
But let me leave out supporters. And I'm not thinking about the supporters now going in there. Won't this also affect the athletes?
Without a
Would
doubt,
they?
yes,
Huh?
but I still think that athletes go and get a preference.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I've,
So
I've noticed in the
if the
past.
athletes do get that,
Mhm,
I want to say, all right then, as supporters, watch it on TV. I don't know, but that I would hate to know that the athletes are deprived.
mhm.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, well, yes, it's going to be very tricky. Anyway, so they have also stated in official documents, right, and this was from last year, and it was updated in January
Yeah,
2026,
man. This
in
one,
January
okay.
2026, right, that there will be some exemptions. They're not going to be so tight with everybody, right? But they said
Yeah,
that they'll make exemptions for medical emergencies.
yeah.
But
It's
otherwise, and that's for the US visa application,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
But otherwise, the flexibility to choose faster processing, right, is going
It's
to
not
be
no longer
eliminated.
existed. In existence. Yeah.
Yes. And then GB, upon research, there is a 1 p.m. rule, right? And the 1 p.m. rule says that appointment capacity is released every Monday at 1 p.m. Kingston time for slots 6 months in advance.
Whoa.
Yes, so if you
That
are
that that
applying,
sounds. Let me put it this way. That sounds to me like a million people going to a venue that can only house 1,000.
yes, yes. So that's the reality in terms of the visa application. Now let's look at some more stuff.
Can you imagine that? The system must get jammed.
Yeah, there's a lot of visa application on a
At
weekly
1
basis.
p.m., you get to go in there and nothing.
Yeah, well, at 1 p.m., you don't get to go in there in a GB. What they do, they release,
They
right?
really
A
can't say,
list
yeah.
and tell you what available time slots are there 6 months from now.
It
So
sounds
that's
like,
really what you're looking at.
to me, well, maybe some of us won't be. You're putting your possible candidates into desperation. You don't see that desperation. You have to be very desperate to be fighting for the liquor slot 6 months hence.
Mm. Not the easiest of things, GB. You know what I mean? But again, I feel it for the hardworking Jamaicans. I feel it for the hardworking Caribbean people who are not trying to go up there and destroy, you know, their country and who trying to add value to the country. You understand? I feel it for them because, many people are so hardworking, and as Caribbean people, we have all benefited from labor in the United States. I mean, there's no two ways about that,
Those who
right?
are work and those who have not gone to work have benefited from the remittance.
Yes.
But Kareem, this just jump up into my head as usual.
Hmm.
Do you foresee that the point of frustration, or it don't make no sense I bother with that? Do you see that causing let's use Jamaica, Jamaicans to look to other places?
I do see that because I think that as Jamaicans, we seek opportunities. And so you find Jamaicans
America
existing.
was lucrative and is lucrative, but if you're
Mhm.
locking me out, I can't wait for 6 months, I got to do something. And
And by the way, GB,
America is not the world.
GB, if I'm being fair, it is much harder to get an English visa.
Well,
If I'm being honest, you answer the
yes.
application process for English visa,
I know about it.
GB, I filled it out in probably about 10 years ago, right? And it was one of the longest application process. Like you have to even scan every page of your passport and upload it. Yeah.
And then, but even in taking in the paper, yeah, if you're going down there, if you're invited to come there, you can't park in a certain road, you can't park in a. You better make somebody drop you there, take taxi.
Yes. So it is even, if we're being fair, it's
That block,
harder.
and
And I
you
don't
saying that
understand,
now and
GB.
said,
I
you
don't
know
want
this
to get
way.
too political, right?
No.
But to be a former colony of a country, and it is so hard to enter the country. Now, I do understand that there are bad apples that
Mm-mm.
kind of messed up things, but that's a minor group, right? The majority group, I mean, have been there before. No, I would have preferred for them to have, you know, a stronger vetting process as opposed to just this long,
Oh,
tiresome
let me
process.
straighten up and be as our former mother country, yes, we the children, the colonists, the generation colonists, right, would have hoped that that is still there, not to mention the Westminster system in Parliament and so many ties to the former motherland. So the truth is, what you just opened up in my eyes right before me is that then what we beat America for.
True.
It kind of makes us look like hypocrites. And bearing in mind that the United States of America, a former colony, those 7 colonies.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
Well,
that's a rough one. Anyway, we're not going to go off,
not at
off the
all.
beaten path too far. So let's go back to some of the rules that the United States has now implemented when you are applying for
Mhm.
a visa. So they will be doing social media vetting. Now,
Yes.
if you're applying for that student visa or that exchange visa, they're going to be asking that your social media accounts be open. So they want to see what it is that you're posting. And please be mindful of some of the names that you're giving yourself for your social media handle.
Oh, please. Yes.
And this was even before the vetting process because you remember when people had to put down their email address?
For business purposes,
Yeah,
for job interviews. Yes, we have to be more careful
right.
and
So,
be more mindful that what might appear to be cute is not. It's not
yeah,
professional. Some of them are not so decent.
not decent at all, GB. Right.
Mhm.
So that is what is going to take place in terms of if you're applying for a visa. No, we're going to jump into the next thing, which is called the Big Beautiful Bill, which is OBBBA, right? One Big Beautiful Bill. Now, GB, this information now is primarily for our diaspora members, those Jamaicans living in the United States, who
Mhm.
are worried about, their status and their legal status and risk,
Mhm.
that they're basically facing, right?
Mhm.
Now, last year we did a episode about deportation, and in excess of 2,500
Right.
Jamaicans,
Going
GB,
now.
were deported from the United States. So we saw a mass return of a lot of nationals, right? And the Prime Minister had come out and he even stated that provisions would be made in terms of to integrate these people back into society. I mean, this is going to be a hard thing because some of these people probably left Jamaica when they were kids.
3 years old.
Yeah,
When I heard 3 years old, all of us don't leave here. Grandma and great grand people that they don't even
exactly.
know the parishes.
No. So they don't know the layout of the land anymore. They don't know anything like that. And you know what I mean? That is a serious case. However, with the same one big beautiful bill, it speaks extensively to deportation, right? And it speaks also about massive funding for the deportation force, right? So the article highlights, GB.
Inside of America.
Yes.
So that's what the
So
building of the what you call them hostels.
no, it's not just that, no, GB, the entire deportation process, whether it's a
Yeah.
holding process, whether it's a putting on the plane process, whatever it wants to be, the bill speaks about funding all of this, right? So let me just tell you a little bit about what the bill says. So the article highlights the act allocates an unprecedented 75 billion US dollars to the Department of Homeland Security. This is described as a slush fund because it grants the administration broad discretion to divert billions towards aggressive enforcement operations, including the hiring of thousands of new ICE agents and Border Patrol officers specifically for interior enforcement rather than just border security. So this is extensive money that is going to be put aside for deportation and deportation related incidents. So be the
So
ICE officer, GB, be it, the transportation vehicles, whatever it wants to be, GB.
everything,
Mhm.
everything. But I'm also seeing that you might it might be way off, but you're on the road to Jamaicans up in the US. I'm not going to be talking to you, but you could be in the store and an ICE person in there said that is not our accent.
Mhm.
And yes, you are what? Resident green card holder, because under the big beautiful, that is doesn't mean anything. So Mr. Iceman can say, come, let's go. Don't?
Mhm.
Wow.
It's no
It's
joke,
that
GB.
big brother. It's not a
So
joke. It's
uh,
chilling.
it's very chilling, very, very chilling. No expansion of detention infrastructure. That's also going to be a
Yeah.
big thing, right? A central pillar of the bill is the rapid expansion of the
Oh yeah.
immigration detention system.
They are
The
not
legislation
joking.
mandates the capacity of 100,000 detention beds at any given time.
When I read it, I read about it. I said, wow, the facilities for just picking them up. It's something like just picking you up off the street and pushing you there to be placed on a plane. But I also, a word came back to me, paracoon.
Mhm.
Okay.
So the article points out that the facilities, that this facilitates a shift towards mass detention, right, where individuals, including those from Caribbean nations like Jamaica, are held indefinitely while awaiting deportation hearing rather than being released on bond or supervision.
So once caught, you stay there till you get the hell out of my place.
Yeah, that's
But
kind of what it sounds like.
you see what is going to happen in there?
Mhm.
Think about it. Outbreak of diseases, you can suicide attempts, people going to be killed because not everybody going to sit and wait.
Yeah,
Attempts to escape leading to oh let us
yeah, it's a lot.
mm.
It's a lot, JB, and it's a lot in terms of implication. Implication. I
All right.
wish and I
Do
pray
you
that.
think
Mhm.
that this big beautiful bill and all that we have just said there, do you think that there are Caribbean people, there are Jamaicans there who will say, you know, I'm going to pack it up and go back to my yard? Or that's one thing that could come of it that would be good for America, the people, the
Mhm.
lawmakers. But we are also those of us who are fighters and feel that I'm not going to go. I haven't done anything wrong. Look how many years I'm here, look what I've done in this society. And I'm going to stay to fight it out. I'm going to hope to go around.
True.
But it sounds like a very big net that will catch all the fish
Yeah,
in the area.
it really does. And I mean, when you read more and more about it, GB, all right, let's for example, let's look at the broad and priority for removal, right?
Mm-hmm.
The analysts know that the bill effectively removes the narrow targeting of previous years. So the administration has moved away from prioritizing only
Just
those with
border.
serious
Mhm.
criminal
And
records.
border cut, right.
That is very
Everybody.
implicative if you ask me, right? Because the slush fund supports a policy where any undocumented individual or even legal permanent resident,
Exactly.
which is a green card holder, right, with minor, right, decades old infractions can be targeted for immediate removal,
Mm-hmm.
significantly increasing the risk for the Jamaican
Prison.
diaspora. Because a lot of us abroad are green card holders, and what does that mean, right? There's a lot of scrutiny and there's a lot of targeting.
Mm.
We don't know what that's going to look like, GB. Right?
Tsunami.
That's a tricky one, right? So when you read this and you get to understanding, I mean, the most I can tell people is, go to your different places of immigration information and just try to see how best you can stay in the clear of all of this, because this is a sweeping bill.
It's so sweet. The big beautiful bill, is that a part of the visa application? I'm not sure, where you will be asked who helped you to fill out the application form, or
No, we don't reach that one yet. That's
that
the next one. So we
oh
are
my
going to,
god.
this is a series, right? So you have to stay tuned as we discuss the various topics. But that's a different topic for a different part in the series,
Yeah,
GB.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's saying the corpus gets hotter.
Yeah, exactly. So please remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I mean, it means a lot, right? Kareem's Quest covers so many things. I mean, if you want to learn about Jamaican culture, Jamaican places to visit, Kareem's Quest is one of the best places to go. There's also a website, kareemsquest.com, and I have my new magazines out for sale in terms of places in Jamaica that you should visit. I mean, it's an extensive list. So if you are planning your itinerary and you really want to enjoy Jamaica like a local, make sure to purchase my magazine. It's on my website. I have two of them out right now. Beautiful magazines. GB, as usual, thanks so much for being a co-host.
Always a pleasure, always a learning experience.